Good evening, everyone. Tonight we are going to make a 2-inch hitch for my 3-point. It's going to go on my tractor. Because I got a trailer out there, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of wood cutting, and so I'm going to be stacking some firewood and moving some branches around. And it does have a drawbar on the back, but I think this is going to work just a little bit better. I got all my pieces. I think this is like schedule, not sure, it's 3/16 thickness. I'm not exactly sure what schedule it is for black pipe. But I went ahead and got my dimensions off the internet because they're always so reliable. And it says it needs to be about 26 inches wide and the top's got to be about 18 inches high. But when I was measuring some of my other implements for my tractor, it was saying it was like 16 inches. So I think I'm just going to go ahead, and right now I'm at just shy of 16, and then I'm going to go ahead and use these 3/16. I think they're like 3 inches wide. We're going to put our 3/4 inch hole on that. This guy's going to go right up here. Let's go ahead and set the welder. Let's see, I was welding some really thin stuff. Let's see, 14/8 inch, 3/16. And I'm right in the middle of the road for my voltage and my wire feed speed. So, well, I got the top piece tacked up here. The bottom piece for my pins, I actually put those thick washers on there, and I'm just going to slide this whole guy in, get that all centered up, and then just weld it on like that. So the 2-inch receiver I actually got off of Amazon, and it's a bare steel unit, and it's just called a receiver tube. Just bare. It just comes in this plastic. I think this guy cost me 14 bucks, and for the most part I have this pipe, I think was given to me by my dad. And then for the, I'm going to do some side supports, and I think I'm going to use this 3/4 inch rod. And if you recall from a previous video, this is the rod that ended up being it said 3/4, but it was the hot rolled stuff, and it didn't fit inside the pillow block bearings of that trailer, that little garden cart trailer. So I think it'll work great since I already have it laying around. I'm pretty cheap into it for right now. It's just really the things that I bought that cost the most was this is 14 bucks. And then these were like, these pins right here were like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 bucks each. And I had the extra washers that I'm going to weld on. Now that I'm thinking about, I might be able to go ahead and weld this all on. Let's see, maybe I can weld the nut to the washers and then slide the washers in. Well, we'll try it out. Maybe I can get to where I can unscrew this guy, and this guy will just be welded in. The nut itself won't work because it's the diameter is way too big. But we'll see if we'll make something work. Alright, the front turned out pretty good. The back side, a little wonky, but I'm really not too worried about it because I'm going to have to go ahead and grind that down probably for the receiver tube. I'm going to go ahead and get the other ones tacked in, and I'll show you how it turns out. Ah, now the fan turns off. Yeah. Let's see. And so far, I got a little temp gauge right here, and 3/16. This thing can go all the way up to 1/4 inch, 15/16, and 3/8. I've never had it that high. The highest I've ever had it, I think, was just 1/4 inch. But really, for the most part, that temp gauge barely ever registers. The only time it really does is like whenever it's like in the middle of the summer. Okay, so this is my setup to try to get it as straight as I can. I got it pretty good, and it is going to probably warp on me whenever I get it all welded up, but yeah, it's not too bad. There's a little bit of gap right there. Oh, it actually looks like it's pulled together just by tacking it, but it's pretty good. The front, the top, it's pretty good as well. Try to get it here where it's not hitting so much, but yeah, it moved a little bit on me, so it's not perfect as long as the welds hold, and that's what makes 3-points so neat, is they're pretty adjustable. So we're gonna go ahead and burn this all the way in. Okay, well, I'm not very good at the thick stuff, and I think I was welding downhill, which you're not supposed to do, but it's burned in, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. My welds are probably something to be desired a little bit, but I really don't think they're going to be coming out. Yeah, this one's probably the worst one of the bunch there, but it's in. And I'm pretty confident that I have good penetration. So that's done. I got my plates kind of welded together here, just tacked, so I can go ahead and drill my hole. And that guy's going to go like up there, somewhere around there, with the hole about 1 inch down or so. And then I'll grind those off and get them tacked on. I think what I'm going to work on next is this guy. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the wire wheel and get rid of this finish. This stuff can smell pretty bad, and I don't think it's very good for you. So if I can get that off, and then I think I am going to go ahead and try to weld this nut over down onto the top of this washer right here without getting in the way of burning it in just like that. So we'll see what happens. So this is my attempt at making this pin removable. Basically, like I said, I just went and did some tack welds around every flat side of this guy. Okay, definitely not some of my greatest work, but I think it's on there, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to go anywhere. So just gonna go ahead and clean it up. Maybe I'll just become a grinder instead of a welder. So, but it's in there. Okay, so I got the other pin in. This welding job didn't go quite as well. Yeah, I think there's quite a bit of contaminants on those washers. I didn't clean them off very good. Or I'm just kind of tired. I'm not exactly sure. But it's on there. I'm pretty sure it's not going to fall off. I also got some cross supports done up. They looked okay on measurement wise, but once I started looking at them, I was like, yeah, those don't look right. But it's too late now. They're on there. I got a little more cleaning up to do. I got a little bung over there. One thing I was putting off that I finally got around to doing was I got my 3/4 inch hole drilled. I did a little pilot hole. I'm not sure what size it was, but I got that 3/4 inch hole drilled out. It's good to go. I'm going to clean it up, get the welds off. Okay, so here's my setup for me to go ahead and tack weld this guy in. I know it looks a little hokey, but I wasn't too sure how to make this work without keeping the hole straight. These little magnetic guys, they're real handy to have. So we're going to go ahead and burn this in, and we're just going to be done with it. Okay, it's in. And the holes still line up. So not too bad. Still had some spots where my welds didn't turn out too great. You know, even after I cleaned them up and did another pass, I'm not quite sure what was going on with that, but it's burned in. Not exactly the prettiest in all places, but did I miss a spot? Nah, we're good. Now we paint, and then we'll test it out.